Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Clips of the Week, our final regular season edition before the playoffs start. I can't believe that this is the last week of the regular season. It seems like only yesterday that we were getting ready for the season to begin. Good luck to all of you as you prepare for your last week of the regular season, and good luck to everyone around the state as you begin to prepare for the upcoming playoff season. With that in mind, we want to take a look at several clips this week as we continue to prepare for our upcoming games. Let's get right to the clips. In this first clip, a crew sent this in after watching last week's video. As a reminder, last week we talked all about personal fouls and spent a lot of time talking about hits against defenseless receivers. The crew sent this one in thinking perhaps they may have missed one as well. And we're going to see here a hit against a receiver right around the 35-yard line. So let's watch that again. And just a reminder that for this hit to be legal, the defender needs to do one of three things. They need to use open hands, they need to use a wrap-up style tackle, or the contact needs to be incidental as a result of making a play on the ball. As we can see one last time on this play, none of those three apply. So kudos to the crew for sending this in, but we should have had a flag here for a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. On this play, we want to take a look at mechanics by the wing officials. And in particular, we want to talk about when does a foul for an ineligible player occur? What causes a player to be ineligible downfield? So here we have the line of scrimmage as the 21 and the expanded neutral zone is the 23. So if at the time of the pass, the ineligible player is beyond the expanded neutral zone, we could have a foul then for an ineligible downfield. So let's watch this play. And as a reminder, the line of scrimmage is 21 and the expanded neutral zone is the 23. And it's at this point that the pass is being released. All of the players that are at the edge of the expanded neutral zone or beyond are eligible receivers. All 5 linemen are behind the line of scrimmage. We don't have an ineligible player downfield, and it's not even close. Now, as this pass continues downfield, we're going to get a catch around the 45-yard line. And it's at this point that we barely have a receiver past the expanded neutral zone, and we're going to get a very late flag by the line judge here. And at this point, the receiver is nearly 35 yards downfield. So first, this is an extremely late flag, which makes us wonder whether or not the official called this at the time of the catch rather than time of the pass. Secondly, this is an incorrect call. This was not a foul for an ineligible downfield, as at the time of the release, not a single ineligible player was beyond the line of scrimmage or the expanded neutral zone. So wings, make sure you know when the ball is released and where your ineligibles are at that time. This next clip has a couple things we want to look at. First off is the action by the running back here. We're going to notice that they start to go forward prior to the snap. Now, the center judge has a flag for an illegal motion. In reviewing this, we would support a false start call more than illegal motion, which would result in us killing the play rather than a live ball foul. Now, secondarily, we want to look at the free blocking zone that we have diagrammed here. So this is the approximate free blocking zone. And a quick note on mechanics. The center judge has excellent depth, but they are a little too wide here. We would like to see the referee and the center judge line up on the edge of the free blocking zone. One of the reasons for this is to rule on whether or not we have potential intentional grounding or if the passer legally throws the ball away. By setting up on the edge of the free blocking zone, if the passer gets to you or beyond you, you know that they've left the lateral edge of the free blocking zone. So keep that in mind as we watch this play. And again, we should have had a false start there. The flag is for an illegal motion. The quarterback throws the ball away, and the pass does get beyond the line of scrimmage. So that's one element of being able to legally ground it. Another one would obviously be if there was a receiver in the area, which there wasn't. So the final criteria is for them to have left the free blocking zone. So let's watch from the end zone view here. So again, we'd like to see the center judge further to the right and line up on the edge of the free blocking zone. And what we're going to notice here on this play is a perfect example of why we do that. At this point, the passer has gone beyond the lateral edge of the free blocking zone. Once the ball has left the zone, it disintegrates. And so we no longer have to worry about where the passer is in regards to the free blocking zone. Now in this case, they go back inside it and throw the ball. There's clearly no eligible receiver in the area. And what ends up happening, even though we don't see this on film, is our referee does exactly what they're supposed to do. They run to the spot of the throw. We get a flag for an intentional grounding. However, once the ball leaves the zone, it doesn't matter whether or not the passer comes back into the free blocking zone and passes the ball. So we should not have a foul here for intentional grounding. And again, if we think about mechanics, we'd like to see our center judge lined up closer to the edge of the free blocking zone. This allows you to stay stationary, and once the passer gets to you, you know that they have been beyond, and provided they don't go past the line of scrimmage, they can now legally ground this. Now, on this play, there's a lot to look at here. We've looked at scrimmage kicks all year. Let's talk first about mechanics. So when crews are utilizing the center judge, we want to see them back at least as deep as the punter. In this case, the punter is left-footed, which means that the punter is the responsibility of the center judge, and the referee would have responsibility for the snapper. This center judge is way too shallow, and we're going to see how this can cause an issue when we get a bad snap here. And now the center judge is in no man's land. But notice this hit. Let's watch that again. And we're going to get a flag here for unnecessary roughness. And the flag comes down at the 11-yard line. Now, our rules committee looked at this, and they deemed that there was no foul here for unnecessary roughness. Because of the snap, because of the running done by the potential kicker, it wasn't certain that there was going to be a kick. So a lot of the protection has gone away. Because of the timing of this, the rules committee feels that there was no foul warranted for an unnecessary roughness. Now, with that said, the crew did have a flag, and it was at the 11. If we go back to the beginning of the play, the line of scrimmage was the 33. I don't have the next clip, but I can tell you that it started at the 26-yard line. So the crew also enforced the penalty from the spot of the foul, not from the previous spot. And just a reminder that fouls by the defense behind the line of scrimmage are also enforced from the previous spot. So this should have been advanced to the 48. Now, this was 4th and long, I believe 4th and 33. So this would not have resulted in a first down, but it would have definitely been advantageous to the kicking team rather than losing 7 yards, which is how the penalty was enforced. Despite talking about it all year and being a point of emphasis, we continue to see teams run plays in which they aid or help the runner. So let's look at 2 of those. Now on this one, a couple things to look at here. This is clearly aiding the runner, but the ball comes loose as well. And our wing comes running in. So we need to make sure that we stay back. There's no need to pinch in that hard, and then the ball becomes loose. It's also important to make sure that you continue to officiate the play. So again, watch this one more time. It's definitely aiding the runner. The ball comes loose. So wings, be careful coming in. That's very dangerous. And you also need to make sure that you continue to officiate the play. And then another quick one as well. Again, a clear aiding the runner right by the goal line here. Now, we'd recommend our center judges to throw the flag into clean open space rather than placing it into the collar area of the player. But again, a great call here for helping the runner. The next two clips we want to look at are sort of advanced officiating, if you will, and something we haven't spent any time talking about this year, but could be really critical this week and in the playoffs, and that's the idea of crossfield mechanics. Sometimes our wing officials aren't able to get an accurate spot because the pass is near them and they aren't able to come up the field. In situations like that, our wing partner on the opposite side of the field can help us with crossfield mechanics by understanding forward progress of the receiver. And the next two plays are perfect examples of that. So on this play, we're going to get a catch right near the line to gain at the 44-yard line. It doesn't appear that the receiver has bobbled the ball, and they're driven back out of bounds, and they're driven back a couple of yards. Now notice the head linesman is killing the clock. If this player is in fact driven out of bounds going backwards, we should be winding this clock. Also notice that they are spotting it at the 46, which appears to be 1 to 2 yards short of where the receiver actually caught the ball. Now, we notice that our line judge has come up to the big line at the 45. The ball was spotted at the 46. So the line judge does a good job of trying to provide a cross-field spot for their partner. Unfortunately, their partner doesn't see it, and the referee spots this on the 46 off of the head linesman. So again, if we take a look at this play, we'd like to see a little bit more hustle as well from the wings. We see a lot of walking here. So again, as this ball is caught and the player is driven back, it'd be nice to see our line judge running forward and getting that forward progress spot for a crossfield mechanic. They could also get on their radio and let everyone know where they have the spot. This play is very similar as well, and we're going to get a pass to the head linesman side, and they're driven back. And they're going to do a good job of winding the clock, just as the last official should have done. So again, the catch is around the 42. They're driven backwards out of bounds, and they're doing a great job of winding the clock. However, we did not give them forward progress, and we cheated this reception by about 3 yards. This is an opportunity for our partner across the way to get a good forward progress spot and let the crew know where they have it and help your partner out. Well, I can't let a Clips of the Week episode go by without showing a scrimmage kick. And here we're on a turf field from the 42-yard line. Now, we're not sure exactly the strength of the kicker here, but as a back judge, we want to make sure that we are in position to rule on a potential touchback. So when we're down this far at the 42 and we're on a turf field, we should probably be on the goal line or no further away than perhaps the 5-yard line, because if we get a kick that lands on the turf, it's likely that we're going to get a bounce towards the goal line. As a reminder here, the wide side of the field is towards the near side of the screen, so our head linesman is going to release once the snap has been secured. As a reminder, wings, it's not a sprint. So release slowly, and your job is to monitor blocks in front of the receiver. The line judge will be cleaning up behind, and the idea again is to get a triangle effect. So our back judge started way too shallow here, and we're going to see that the goal line becomes threatened. Now our head linesman comes down and is actually the one to signal for the touchback, but they're at the 6-yard line when the ball is possessed. So wings, this is not your call in a 5-person crew. This is solely the call of the back judge. Your job at this point is to be looking at blocks in front of the receiver, and in this case, pretty much dead ball officiating. This is 100% the back judge's call. This free kick is an excellent clip for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, the official just does an excellent job in a situation where a lot of officials might not be prepared. Secondly, in speaking with this official, They let me know that they had reviewed huddle film and noticed that the kicker oftentimes kicked an onside kick. And so this official was prepared for anything on a free kick. And they started the play with a bag in their hand. And what we're going to see here is a pooch kick over the front line of the return team. Now, the ball is never grounded, and a member of the kicking team catches it in the air. So that is a foul for kick catching interference. And let's focus on the back judge. So they're prepared, they're watching everything, and as soon as that kicking team member catches it, they have a flag for kick catching interference. So just a really, really good job of being prepared for this type of play by the back judge through game preparation, which allows them to officiate this play much more confidently. Excellent job. Well, that's it for this week's Clips of the Week. We will be back next week with an episode as we begin our playoff preparation. Best of luck to all of the teams and officials out there for this week and the upcoming playoff season. As always, if you have any questions about the clips, please let us know by emailing us at the email address on our screen. They have been vetted through our state rules interpreter, Kevin Hatfield, whose email address is also on the screen. Thank you and best of luck this week, and we'll see you next week.